1692 means we got shots fired 4:15 ASL.
However, we are getting emails about Senator Murphy of Connecticut saying, stand up to the NRA and guns are the problem.
Yeah, it has
Hillary
turned
Clinton, similar
quickly
tweets.
Political. Quickly political.
And it'll get to that later this week. As you just mentioned, surely we're going to hear additional statements, particularly from those on the left, going to the conversation about gun
I don't
control.
think they're going to wait till later this week.
No,
well,
they haven't. Hillary Clinton has already tweeted several times about the NRA, and they're politicizing this while people are still in surgery and dying. It's like this is still a very fluid situation, and there will be plenty of time to figure out and dissect all of that.
The rest
and of course, a political discussion will ensue. But right now, let's allow people to get out of crisis and make sense of this picture.
Also, find out where they got the guns. Before you say that this is wrong and this is wrong, so far there's no indication that he got any of the guns illegally.
Well, and we also know from law enforcement, this guy seemed to have no background with them. They had no knowledge of this guy previously.
He did seem to pop up out of, at one point I was watching one of the previous news conferences, and it wasn't just that he didn't have a record. They actually said it seemed like he just kind of popped up out of nowhere. He had lived in Mesquite, Texas for a while, and then he moved to Mesquite, Nevada. So they were looking for, well, is there any connection? And to your point, Brian, one of the things that we learned from the very last news conference is one of the reporters said, is there any reason to or any way to determine yet if any of the guns were illegal or modified to be illegal in any way? And the response was, we just don't know yet.
They were automatic and not modified. That's what they said, that there's no indication that they were semi-automatic made to be automatic, right?
Well, and that's the concern as well, is, too often when things like this happen, there's this rush to, judgment or a rush to partisan politics, when there's so many answers that we just don't have right now. And to Kennedy's point, there are people who are grieving right now, who have lost a loved one or don't know if a loved one is going to survive.
There are people who are bleeding and fighting for their lives.
Which, by the way,